This is a message for somebody who feels like they've been standing in the same place for long, doing the same thing, worried that they're getting something wrong. I'm speaking to someone who holds a lot of wisdom, a lot, so much wisdom, okay, that you're wondering whether there is a piece of wisdom that you know that you're meant to be applying right now that you may have missed. Okay, this message feels very clear, and I don't think it's going to take long to convey it. I've already laid out the cards in front of me. I started off with Wise One, the first oracle card on the left. Okay, it says grow within your current situation. The sun is telling me that this is something you have been showing up for, okay, consistently, like the sun. Okay, the sun is always there, even when you cannot see it, the sun is always there. And so that piece of what I'm saying is actually telling me that you may not be showing up consistently in the sense of, front facing in people's faces all the time, but you have not let go of the journey. You have not let go of the journey. You have not stopped trusting in the journey. You want to get it right. Okay. I've got eagle, see from a higher perspective. I've got that. And I've got mountains, stand your ground. There is a huge contrast in terms of this message saying to grow within your current situation, which is telling me that you do not need to move anywhere else because you have had thoughts of deconstructing, reconstructing, moving totally. Okay, you have considered shutting down, starting afresh. You've considered many options. And they actually opened by saying, what if I told you that you are at exactly the right place, at exactly the right time, and that this is where you need to be right now? There is a sense here that when you zoom out like this eagle and you look at things, you look at them in the sense that, number one, you see this mountain, all you see is a mountain. Okay, you see this huge mountain. There's a part of that you cannot see. And all you see is the length of time that you've been here. You have your vision. You have your vision. Your vision is strong. A lot about your vision is not visible to you. You do trust that, but in this here moment, you feel like you may be missing something. They're showing me that as you build momentum, you keep looking back. You keep looking back, and what's happening is, and the number I saw was 030880. And so what happens is that you're in a balance, and then you get into your momentum and you look back, and what you see is almost the inverted version. Look at that mountain, the inverted version of your momentum. It's as if you have gained momentum, but you see regression. And so there's this inversion of, your perspective that they want swiveled back and redirected more in alignment with your presence and where you are. The sun with the magician is telling me that what is being asked for here is presence, clarified by the Page of Cups, which is bring what you've got. There's nothing mind-blowing or groundbreaking that you need to deliver. Whatever that is delivered in its own impact, not through you calling it, for example. Okay, and with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by the Seven of Cups, especially Two of Pentacles in reverse, this is saying, there's nothing that needs changing. There's nothing drastic here that needs changing. You're manifesting in the moment. There is something where you're looking at this whole thing way bigger than what the present moment can hold. Okay, physically. That's what they're showing me. When you look at this mountains card, stand your ground. As a start, it's saying stand your ground. Okay, grow within your current situation. But it's also showing that all you can see is what's above the surface. You cannot see how much you've grown below the surface. You're not looking at that. You can't see it with your physical eyes. And so you are almost, your self-talk, your behavior towards yourself is as though everything that's happening there underground is not there, and what has happened and how much growth it's taken for even what is visible to exist. Look at the tower in reverse there. They're telling me that there's no major epiphany that you should be expecting. This expectation of this major epiphany or this this whole message is sending you back to presence. Okay? Sometimes the things that you need to solve in your life feel insurmountable. They do. They do. That is, even that word insurmountable, it has mount in it. Okay? But they're saying that this way of looking at things, look at that 8 of Swords, it will only send you in these loops of wondering when it's enough. 7 of Pentacles, when will it be enough? When will I have put in enough work? And they're saying it's the presence. You are not privy to all of your own magic. What you are privy to is the love. A lot of that love and that feeling, how it feels within you is almost, the feeling is diminished by this huge chunk of your perspective that is looking at what is not complete, what is not visible, and how long you've been here. They described this way you're moving in as choppy. When I look up the word choppy, it says of a sea, lake, or river having many small waves. And they also say here, having a disjointed or jerky quality, which is what I was referring to when I said your progress gets jolted very intermittently and frequently. And so this is not actually pointing to your work or whatever it is that you're doing. It's pointing to your nervous system. I'm not a medical professional and I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just reading the energy in my body as I feel it. But it's more your nervous system, your reactions from the things that you say to yourself as you progress. I asked for another card and I got the High Priest, intend and create. This is also speaking to me about presence, okay? And just as I was getting this card, my skin started itching unbearably, especially on my arms. When I looked up the meaning of skin in itself, the spiritual symbolism, it says it symbolizes human frailty and the boundary between the self and the external world. And so what's actually going on is that what you're dealing with is the discomfort between yourself and your external world. And so what I'm sensing is that I'm seeing a disparity between those two. And what they're actually explaining, and they explained it with sort of 2 messages at the same time, they want you to understand that you are the anchor, okay, of your vibration. How you maintain your vibration is by maintaining your thought processes. By maintaining, I mean caring for your thought processes. Do not let your thoughts run away with you. Do not let your thoughts run away with you, because that's actually what's going on. And so your thought, how you manage your thought is you become the observer of your thought and notice when it's behaving along these lines, behaving along these negative lines. And I'm not saying we bypass it. It's to recognize, again, we're not denying it, We're recognizing the cause of it. In huge part, it's a habit. Okay, it's a behavior, it's a habit. It's something that it's something that's connected to this paradigm of your external world where certain achievements are measured by certain markers. And so now we're not saying throw the markers away. What we are saying is do not rely on markers to determine your progress. Okay, because many of the things that you are manifesting are currently not visible. They are being taken care of, but they are not visible. And so if you go according to the markers that you're used to going with, that's going to almost lower the anchor, okay? And then it's counter-progressive, if you understand what I'm saying. And I suppose I'm just trying to work through this thought without, I'm not gaslighting you here. I'm working through this thought process with you so that you can understand the importance of maintaining the vibration at a certain level, because the things that you are manifesting and the things that you are fetching cannot find you in choppy waters. Okay? And it's important that you hold this vibration for an extended period. It needs to become your new balance. And so this is a journey, yes, but it's like a work in progress. And so we're working on that because outside of the things you're manifesting, what you're actually trying to improve is your temperament and your emotions and how you connect with yourself in the present moment, because that is all that's really real. When you are connecting with your emotions, you are in the present. You are not connecting with how you're going to feel on Friday. When I said that out loud, it made so much more sense. And you're not connecting with your emotions. Let's say you are in a ball and like you're stressed, tense. You're not thinking about last week. Like if we really put this in real words, you are feeling the moment in the now. And so in the now, you can start to process, what is it that I'm saying to myself? What is it that I'm telling myself? What is it? They're speaking to me about swings and roundabouts. I looked it up and it says it originates from the 20th century British English and is typically used to express the idea that gains and losses tend to balance out. What you lose on the swings, you gain on the roundabouts. And so they're saying, don't look at the up and down in the physical world and don't measure yourself on that, because in that sense, swings and roundabouts sounds like choppy waters. And so if you take a step back, you'll see that the only aspect of this entire situation that can hold the anchor is you. Between you and your mind, you are the custodians of your anchor. And before I opened this container, what they said to me is, there are more of you. There are more of you. You cannot see everyone. There are more of you, okay? And so what they're explaining is that there are many, even though your physical eyes are not privy to that many. In order for you all to actually find each other, this is what is being asked for, is for this vibration to be maintained. Because if that anchor is held, when that anchor is held, it becomes stronger for everyone. They're also explaining you're not the first. They're also explaining that you are an example of the people that show up, for example, if that's making sense. And so there are some that have not yet showed up. And so it may look like you're like in a room full of people, or may feel like you're in a room full of people, but you can't find your people. But they're saying that everyone's readiness varies. And so what they're showing me is that there will be waves. There will be waves of people coming in and there will be waves of people coming out. But at the right frequency and the right vibration, in divine timing, your worlds intersect. That message is to reinforce the importance of caring for your mindset and holding your vibration and not being convinced by what you see above the surface. I'm looking at this bird on this high priest card, intend and create, versus the eagle on see from a higher perspective. I'm looking at the contrast. I recognize that this may be a hawk and not an eagle, but what I'm seeing the most is that this eagle is looking at things from this higher perspective. The death card is saying it's time to reset what you see when you look at things from a higher perspective, okay? But now the difference is that this eagle's got this higher perspective, and it's as if this high priest has got this hawk focused in one place, in the present moment. That's what I'm seeing. He's holding up what looks like a wand, and they're all focused on what he's creating. You're very privileged to be able to create in this way, is actually the message. This creation of yours provides you with a lot of soothing, a lot of love. And so they're almost sharing the message that this is, for example, it's like an ever ready and available outlet. Okay. It is something that you can focus on, that you enjoy, that brings you love, and that can really care for your heart and your mind. They're showing this to me very clearly, okay? It's as if what you want out of all of this is available, okay? It is available. However, it is only available through the present moment. And to be in the present moment, you need to not be looking at the bigger picture all the time. It's like when you sit down for breath or meditation, one of the ways is to give some time to listening to what's happening around you, the wind blowing, the trees, all of that, the birds. And then they send you back into your body to feel what's happening inside your body. And so it's really about awareness of where your mind is, okay? Where your mind is, what you're focusing on. And so it's not that I am going to create because this must grow. It's more the moment of creation, because that is actually what you are here for. I'm going to read you this message from the book because it feels so relevant. The message is, recognize that you have the power to change your life. Face your fear and align with the light. In many traditions, the high priest is the physical embodiment of the divine masculine. He acts as a bridge between worlds and is able not only to divine the future, but to help create it too. He may be a leader in his spiritual tradition or, in pagan traditions, be second to the high priestess, but he is always spiritually connected and disciplined, with great respect for his creator and his particular practice. In a reading, this card can represent a spiritual figure, leader, or teacher in your life, or an aspect of your path that has led you to where you are today. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, and it's important for you to know that you are more powerful and connected than you may think. Everything you are giving attention and energy to at this time is creating your way forward. There have been some setbacks, but accept these as experiences that have led you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your spirit. Know that you are being guided by the ancestors to direct your thoughts and energies towards what you want to grow, heal, and expand, and then watch it happen right before your eyes. After just reading that message, I've taken some time to just consider today's entire message, which feels like wisdom we have all heard before, but for some reason today it feels really relevant. And I believe it feels really relevant because of how clearly it feels like it was set out. Very empowering information, like take your power back type of information. This is one that I'm going to listen to a number of times. especially when I feel like my mindset needs some care, and especially when I feel like there's something I need to change, or even when I find myself obsessing. Do you think we ever stop or heal from obsessing? I do, but the clarity I'm receiving in this moment is that, I have stopped obsessing about many things. Many, many, many things. You cannot convince me to start stressing about it today. However, I believe that this is because of how much you want this. And so it feels like one of those sort of final mental obstacles that need to be slayed. And so this is really about creating awareness around that and your power over it. I hope that you found this reading insightful. I love you all so much. I love this channel so much. It challenges me a great deal. But honestly, when I look at the overall picture, I'm a completely different person to when I started the channel, and even a completely different person to this time last year. Overall, I'm grateful and really optimistic about the possibilities. I just remember a time where I'd feel so stifled and I'd feel just so resistant against the container. And I never thought that that would come to an end. And I don't know when exactly that shifted, but it did. It really did. And one of the key things I recall that did shift was an intention. It almost feels like today's message. It was the intention to rather pour myself into this activity that I so enjoy, okay, rather than fight it. I suppose it's like how they describe falling in love. When it finally arrives and it's healthy and it's balanced, you kind of want to run. And so there's this point that you reach where you recognize that, at some point you're going to need to commit, because if you keep running from the thing that you love, you could lose it. And so that's helped me quite a lot. I don't know who needed to hear that, to be really grateful that you can even tap in. There's something else I want to share just briefly before I end this video off. It's very personal share about my progress on this channel. And this is something for you to perhaps ponder over for a short while. But the subscribers on this channel have not been growing, okay? However, the quality of what I'm reading in the comments, the feedback that I'm getting, that is not the same as when the channel was growing. And so that's something to think about, because it's like then one has a choice of what to focus on. Do I decide to rather push subscriber counts and plateau on my personal growth and the quality of my work? Absolutely not. I don't believe this is a tough decision. Tough options, crappy options. I don't think that it's a case of that, because especially today's message has been about creating, remaining present, and in a sense, it is about having it all. And I hope nobody on the channel ever thinks that I do not believe in having it all, because I do. Many times in life, we're told we can't have it all. There's been a time in my life where I felt I've had it all. It's just that I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted. And the difference now is that I know what I want. And so the possibility of not being able to have it all it's a nonsense possibility for me. I truly believe in heaven on earth. I truly believe, and I was thinking about this last night, there's so much doubt in the world. we really shortchange our potential in terms of like what wish fulfillment looks like. There are promises that I have in my heart, from my dreams in my heart. I truly believe in these things. I have seen things that, perhaps if I looked from an eagle's higher perspective, I would not have believed in them. But in the present moment, I truly believed in them and I have seen them come true. Some I have had witnesses for, and some I haven't. Some are based in feeling, so then only I can witness it. And some have been witnessed by others. And so I move through this life of mine where there are certain people around me who have witnessed how powerfully I can manifest. I'm speaking to all of you. Okay, I'm speaking to all of you. And so I want you to recognize that the reason why this one is so tough is because possibly there's nothing you've ever wanted more than this, whatever it is you're working on. And so that's for your perspective, because you are a manifester. You have manifested and you will manifest. The size of what you're manifesting, the quantum of it, the depth of it. If you measure that against this physical reality that we are all trying to shift, that will land you in choppy waters. I think it's good to add some humor to some of this stuff. Again, I'm just so grateful that I can create these things in my present moments. I need nothing else. I need nothing else but my skin and bones and my heart and my mind and my breath. Nothing else. If these cards were stripped away from me, I'd carry right on. I think sometimes they can become a crutch, cards. But then again, I send myself back to the present moment and I just recognize that they're a dynamic of my work that I enjoy. Visually, I'm a visual person. I'm a creative person. I love to problem solve. And so sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. And so I found this nice balance for myself, a nice comfortable nook in between where I don't have to use them, but I can. Again, I love you all so much and I'm going to stop rambling. Sending you all so much love.